So, I want to go back to this one story of around 2 years ago up to this date. So it was March 26, 2012. Today is March 20th, 2014. Caught on open mic, Obama tells Medvedev he needs space on missile defense. So, Barack Obama and Medvedev, the former PM of Russia, they were talking in 2012, and open mic, Obama says that, hey, it's all yours when it comes to this missile defense. We're not going to play tough on you, basically, and wait after the election. So he had a feeling that he would win the election, and he did. And all of a sudden, he said, you know what? We're not going to bug you at all. That is really interesting how the mainstream media is not picking up on this story a few years later when this Ukraine-Russia story is picking up. Maybe because it probably wouldn't sell that much compared to tensions going on in Russia and Ukraine. But let's look at this again now, the sanctions. And then today morning, I really couldn't believe that the US actually enacted this, but they have more rounds of sanctions on Russian banks and billionaires. And then Sun Zero Hedge talks about the individuals that were sanctioned. And then Russia retaliated based on what Barack Obama foolishly did. So now I'm thinking back to what happened 2 years ago. Okay, they had this open mic incident. Now he's leveling sanctions upon Russia. Even though they're not as severe as I thought they would have been, but at the same time, you are playing chess or you're starting stuff with an ex-KGB guy. Red flag. You don't do that. I mean, even though you may not like Putin, at the same time, the people of Crimea did vote, and they wanted to be part of Russia. Now, what could this mean for that entire region? Well, there's another thing that, once again, many people aren't talking about. Yes, the news is covering it, though. It's natural gas. So, this I'm seeing on Interfax. This is a Russian website, but I think it's a Russian website. And it's talking about just a few lines which give a lot of information that no one's really talking about. Ukraine to raise domestic gas prices by 40%. Ukraine expects to increase domestic gas prices by 40% once discounted imported prices from Russia expire, the country's energy minister told journalists in the European Parliament on Thursday. 40% increase? So suppose that this is right. Then what's going to happen to the country of Ukraine? All right? They're in the midst of having nasty inflation. We saw depreciation in the Ukrainian currency. Now what? Will other parts of Ukraine, would they want to secede from Ukraine, especially the Russian part, and Russia may say, hey, you know what? Come on aboard because you technically are Russian. Those individuals who are living, I believe, in the eastern part of Russia. So this is one dynamic that many people aren't talking about right now. And secondly, then what's going to happen with the price of oil? Like I showed you before in this one graph, I've showed in previous videos, right? And this was the trading pattern AB equals CD. I mean, I can't extend it all the way right now. But at the same time, I'm going to draw a picture of this graph in another video. But anyways, we saw oil prices in the $20 range, $30 range in 2000, 2001. Peaked up in 2007 or 2008 because of the dollar weakness and Israel and Iran almost went to war, so oil speculators drove it up, and then it came crashing down to $30, right? 30 some dollars. And the way that you could extrapolate this graph all the way to, I don't know, 2015, 2016, oil would most likely be $163 a barrel. So looking at tying in what some technical analysis or analysts are saying about the price of oil in a few years and tying it back to the potential standoff between Russia, the United States, maybe you could throw in Iran. Looks like Russia and Iran are going to join alliances even more. to try to mess with American interests. Whether we like it or not, that's not the point. So, if you now look at this and see the potential headwinds of what could happen, it just seems that before 2015, 2016, another oil shock is on the way, in my opinion. And secondly, if you want to look at it, the Russians are playing chess. The Chinese are playing chess, while the Americans continue to act foolishly, just as Barack Obama has done. Even though sanctions are not as horrific as I thought they were, or they aren't as detrimental as I thought they were, at the same time, you start games with the KGB thug, well, guess what? They're not going to back down. And Obama being a weak president, this is not going to end well, in my opinion. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Talk to you later. Bye.